Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.
Nandito na naman tayo sa ating ALE review series, practice quiz, and today we have planning, and kasama dito ang site planning, urban design and community architecture, tsaka urban and regional planning. So this is the first part. Okay, so again, before we start our quiz, it is recommended that you get a piece of paper at gawan nyo na ng numbering 1 to 30. And then, once you are ready, you can now start the quiz. And after every question, choose the letter of your best answer from the multiple choice. So you will be given 10 seconds to finalize your answer. Kung gusto pa ng mas mahabang time, i-hold nyo na lang muna yung video. Okay? So, at the end of the quiz, you count the number of your correct answers and then tingnan nyo kung saang category yung scores nyo kabilang, no? Para makita nyo kung kailangan pa ba talaga yung mag-concentrate more sa review nyo. So, if you are now ready, we can now start with the quiz. So, question number 1. Motor courts in subdivision shall have a right-of-way of not less than blank meters. A. 3, B. 4, C. 6, and D. 5. 10 seconds. And our correct answer is letter C, 6 meters. So this is the tabulation for the road right-of-way sa PD 957, indicating here that motor courts shall have a right-of-way of not less than 6 meters in width with provision for sufficient space for vehicular turnaround in the form of a cul-de-sac, loop, branch, or T with a maximum length of 60 meters inclusive of terminal. Question number 2. What is the width of the major road right-of-way in meters for open market subdivision of project size 2.5 hectares and below? A. 10 meters, B. 4 meters, C. 6 meters, and D. 8 meters. So you have 10 seconds. And our correct answer is letter A, 10 meters. So you will see here is table sa PD 957 that 2.5 hectares na project size and below. The width of the major road is 10 meters both for open market and medium cost subdivisions. So we go to question number 3. What is the width of the minor road right-of-way in meters for open market subdivision of project size 2.5 hectares and below? Letter A, 8 meters, B, 5 meters, C, 6 meters, and D, 4 meters. So 10 seconds. And our correct answer is letter A, 8 meters. Again, this is the table for the road right-of-way. And for a minor road, it is 8 meters. Minor road is 8 meters for open market as well as medium cost. So question number 4. What is the width of the major road right-of-way in meters for open market subdivision of project size above 5 to 10 hectares. So medyo malaki na to. So letter A, 6 meters, B, 10 meters, C, 9 meters, and D, 12 meters. So 10 seconds to finalize. And our correct answer is letter D, 12 meters. So again, if we look at that table, you will see here that if the project size is above 5 to 10 hectares, major road for open market is 12, as well as for medium cost subdivision projects, 12 meters. Okay, question number 5. What is the width of the minor road right-of-way in meters for open market subdivision of project size above 5 to 10 hectares? A, 6, B, 12, C, 8 meters, D, 10 meters. So you have 10 seconds. And our correct answer is letter C, 8 meters. So looking at this table again, above 5 to 10 hectares, our minor road is 8 meters, both for open market and medium cost. So question number 6, defined as intensive foci from which the observer is traveling. A, paths, B, edges, C, nodes, and D, districts. And our correct answer is letter C, nodes. So based on Kevin Lynch concepts from the image of the city, nodes are defined as strategic focal points in a city that an observer can enter and travel through. Places where paths intersect or areas of concentrated activity. They are often junctions, squares, or places of activity or intensive foci from which people move or orient themselves. Question number 7. Most dominant element for most persons' image of the city. Letter A, paths, B, nodes, C, edges, and D, districts. 10 seconds. And our correct answer is letter A, paths. So paths are channels along which the observer moves, like streets, walkways, and transit lines. They are the most dominant elements in shaping mental maps. Now the other elements are the edges. These are the linear elements that form boundaries between two areas like walls, rivers, or shorelines. They can also be barriers or seams. Districts, on the other hand, are medium to large sections of the city with a common identifying character like the Central Business District or a Heritage District. Observers mentally enter and recognize them as having a distinct personality. Landmarks are external points of reference like buildings, signs, or natural features. They help observers orient themselves but are not entered. So question number 8. Responsive environments by Ian Bentley that focus on details with a wide vocabulary of visual cues possess. A, legibility, B, visual appropriateness, C, variety, and D, personalization. And our correct answer is letter B, visual appropriateness. So this visual appropriateness refers to the ability of the physical environment to communicate its function and meaning through its appearance. A building or space looks like what it is. The form, design, and details give clear visual cues about its purpose, use, or status, helping people understand how to interact with it. For example, a church may have a steeple and stained glass, signaling it is a religious building. So parang it may stereotypes, na? So So this is the summary of the seven responsive environments as described by Ian Bentley in his book. So we have permeability is about designing the overall layout of routes and development blocks. Variety is locating uses on the site, different uses. And legibility is designing the massing of the buildings and the enclosure of public space. And this is related to the image of the city by Kevin Lynch. Robustness is designing the spatial and constructional arrangement of individual buildings and outdoor spaces. Visual appropriateness is designing the external image. Richness is developing the design for sensory choice, making use of the different senses. And personalization is making the design encourage people to put their own mark on the places where they live and work para maiwasan din ang monotony. Okay, so we now go to question number 9. The shape of urban cities formed by two corridors of intense development crossing the center. A. Radiocentric. B. Articulated sheet. C. Rectilinear. D. Linear. 10 seconds. And our correct answer is letter C, rectilinear. So when you say rectilinear, it is a variation on the radiocentric form, which is the rectangle. This usually has two corridors of intense development crossing at the center. This variant of the radiocentric form is found in small cities rather than large. It is the radiocentric form with right angles. So these are the other shapes. So we have the radiocentric is the most frequently found urban form, and it is a large circle with radial corridors of intense development emanating from the center. So Manila is this one also emanating from intramurus, and we have radials, and we have circumferential roads. So star is shape is a radiocentric form with open spaces between the outreaching corridors of development. So a ring is a city built around a large open space. The San Francisco Bay is such an open space for the cities of the Bay Area. A ring and star may be found in combination, particularly where a loop road is built around the outskirts of an expanding metropolis. Linear, on the other hand, is usually the result of natural topography like Tagaytay City, which restricts growth or the result of a transportation spine. Stalingrad in the Soviet Union was planned as a linear city because of the river. The megalopolis on the East Coast has become a vast metropolitan area with a linear configuration. This is in the US. Now, the branch form is a linear spine with connecting arms. And a sheet is a vast urban area with little or no articulation. The other forms are the articulated sheet here is accented by one or more central clusters or subclusters, several subclusters. Constellation is a series of nearly equal size cities in close proximity as differentiated sa satellite. The satellite is a constellation of cities around a main big center. Dito ay nearly equal size. Okay, so question number 10 is what determines current housing needs? A. Housing to be replaced. B. Housing backlog. C. Housing for new family formation. And D. All of the above. So 10 seconds. And our correct answer is letter D, all of the above. So estimating housing needs would involve the following. The number of families that need to be provided with a housing unit. So determining that number, and also determining the housing needs that exist at the beginning of the plan period, as well as the housing needs expected to arise during the plan period because of the increase in population. And also determining displaced households that will need relocation and new housing units. And lastly, the number of families that aspire and can afford to own a housing unit. Question number 11 describes the housing shortage or backlog. A. Difference between number of acceptable housing, current housing, and also the number of families needing housing. Letter B, housing for new family formation. And letter C, housing produced minus existing housing. And D, all of the above. So 10 seconds. And our correct answer is letter A, difference between number of acceptable housing and the number of families needing housing. So a housing backlog refers to the number of dwelling units needed to meet the immediate housing demand, which includes the requirements for homeless individuals, displaced persons, and households doubling up. It essentially represents the difference between the existing housing supply and the number of households needing housing. So question number 12, type of urban ecological process in land use planning, patterning in cities or communities defined as the entrance of a new population and or families into an occupied area. A. Succession. B. Invasion. C. Concentration. And D. Decentralization. And our correct answer is letter B, invasion. So in the context of urban land use planning, invasion refers to the ecological process where non-native or alien species colonize and establish themselves in urban areas. This is a type of biotic invasion, one of several urban ecological processes influenced by urbanization, climate change, and human activities. Question number 13. In the increase of urban population, which of the following factors indicates excess of in-migration over out-migration? A. Natural increase. B. Reclassification. B. Concentration. And D. Net migration. 10 seconds. And our correct answer is letter D, net migration. So an excess of in-migration over out-migration is the same as net migration, which represents the difference between the number of people moving into an area, that is immigration, and the number of people moving out of an area, that is emigration, over a specific period. If the number of immigrants exceeds the number of emigrants, then net migration is positive, indicating a population gain. Conversely, if more people leave than enter, the net migration is negative, indicating a population loss. So question number 14. Factors indicating net migration. A. Excess of births over deaths. B. Excess in young population. C. Excess of in-migration over out-migration. And D. Rural areas having achieved urban status. And our correct answer is letter C, excess of in-migration over out-migration. So net migration is calculated by subtracting the number of people leaving a region, that's emigration, from the number of people entering a region or immigration. If there are more people coming in than leaving, then there is a positive net migration, indicating an excess of in-migration over out-migration. Question number 15. Urban design control that allows builders and developers more space if they provide desirable features such as plazas, arcades, and other open spaces. A. Flexible zoning. B. Incentive zoning. C. Cluster zoning. And D. Land use planning. And our correct answer is letter B, incentive zoning. So incentive zoning is a planning technique where developers are offered bonuses like increased density or building height in exchange for providing public amenities like plazas, arcades, and open spaces. It's a way to encourage developers to include desirable urban design features that benefit the community. Incentive zoning is a powerful urban design tool because it allows planners to encourage the development of more livable and attractive urban environments. Question number 16. The largest and simplest function of a city. A. Economic. B. Government. C. Housing. And D. Transportation. And our correct answer is letter C, housing. So housing is the largest in physical size because it uses the most land area in nearly all cities. It serves also the basic need for shelter for the population. Every city, regardless of size or complexity, must provide space for people to live, making housing a foundational urban function. While economic activity, government, and transportation are all critical, they typically take up less physical space compared to residential areas. Question number 17. Intersections that separate lanes of traffic by use of islands. A. Channelization. B. Rotaries. C. Cloverleaf. And D. Diamonds. And our correct answer is letter A, channelization. So channelization refers to the use of traffic islands or pavement markings to guide and separate traffic flows at intersections, particularly for right turn traffic. This technique aims to improve safety, increase capacity, and reduce delays by creating distinct paths for vehicles to follow. 18. Basic subdivision design. A. Gridiron. B. Radial on gridiron. C. Curvilinear. And D. Radial superblocks. Okay, and our correct answer is letter A, gridiron. So the gridiron pattern is considered the basic subdivision design because it consists of straight streets intersecting at right angles, forming a grid of rectangular or square blocks. It is simple, economical, and easy to lay out and construct. It was widely used in early urban planning, that is ancient Roman cities or early American towns. So question number 19, what major problem brought about the discipline of city planning? A. Physical chaos. B. Land value. C. Urban growth. And D. Crime. 10 seconds. And correct answer is letter A, physical chaos. So the discipline of city planning emerged primarily to address physical chaos in rapidly growing cities, especially during the Industrial Revolution. This chaos included overcrowded housing, poor sanitation and health conditions, disorganized street layouts, lack of zoning or separation of uses. City planning aimed to impose order on this disarray by introducing organized layouts, infrastructure, zoning laws, and public amenities. Question number 20. What part of basic data and planning studies in a comprehensive development plan that describes the physical setting of the community or region? A. Economic-based study. B. Man-made features. C. Land use survey and inventory. And letter D. Ecological profile. And our correct answer is letter D, ecological profile. So in a comprehensive development plan, the part that describes the physical setting of a community or region is typically the ecological profile or geographical profile. So kasama dito yung history, geography, and the land uses, inventory of environmental and physical conditions. So this section provides a detailed analysis of the region's natural environment, including landforms, climate, vegetation, water resources, and any other relevant geographical features. It often includes information on land use, soil types, and water resources. Question 21. The urban model of growth and development that presents the emergence of self-sufficient sectors. A. Concentric zone model. B. Multiple nuclei model. C. Sector model. And D. Urban realms model. And our correct answer is letter B, urban realms model. So the urban realms model describes the growth of self-sufficient sectors or realms, each with its own economic, social, and functional center, yet connected to the larger metropolis. It reflects how modern cities grow with independent suburban areas that function almost like smaller cities within a city. So ito yung kay James Vance na urban realms model. So question number 22, density control method that regulates the proportions between the built area of the building and the lot area. A. Number of occupants per square meter. B. Floor area ratio. C. Number of occupants per floor. And D. Floor space index. And the answer is the floor area ratio. In our National Building Code, it is referred to as the floor to lot area ratio. So this is the metric that calculates the ratio of a building's total floor area, specifically the gross floor area, to the land area on which it sits, essentially determining how much building mass is allowed on a given plot of land. So that means that the smaller the floor area per floor, gross floor area per floor, the taller will be the building having the same FAR or FLAR. So question number 23. A general term to describe the idea of consciously renewing the outworn areas of towns and cities. A. Historic preservation. B. Adaptive reuse. C. Urban renewal. And D. Urban gentrification. And our correct answer is letter C, urban renewal. So urban renewal is a general term used to describe the process of consciously redeveloping or revitalizing deteriorated or outworn areas of towns and cities. It often includes demolishing old structures, rebuilding infrastructure, and introducing new developments to improve economic and social conditions. Question number 24. A mixed-use community with an average 670 meters distance of a transit stop and commercial core area. A. Transit-oriented development. B. Traditional neighborhood development. C. Planned unit development. And D. New urbanism. And our correct answer is letter A, transit-oriented development. So transit-oriented development, or TOD, refers to a mixed-use community designed to maximize access to public transport, typically with an average distance of around 400 to 800 meters or 1/4 to 1/2 mile from a transit stop, this one, and a commercial core area. It emphasizes walkability, reduced car dependence, and sustainable urban growth. So question number 25, a group of architects, planners, and urban designers formed to educate citizens worldwide of the benefits of new urbanism. A. The Council of New Urbanism. B. The Congress for New Urbanism. C. The New Urbanism Movement. And C. The Association of New Urbanists. And our correct answer is letter B, the Congress for New Urbanism. So the Congress for New Urbanism, or CNU, is a group of architects, planners, and urban designers founded in 1993 to promote and educate the public and professionals about the principles and benefits of new urbanism, such as walkable neighborhoods, mixed-use development, and sustainable urban growth. Question 26. According to the new theory of new urbanism, neighborhoods must have a discernible center within a 5-minute walk of all dwellings and equivalent to blank. A. 200 to 300 meters walk. B. 300 to 400 meters walk. And C. 400 to 600 meters walk. And D. Approximately 1 kilometer. 10 seconds. And the correct answer is letter C, 400 to 600 meters. So the neighborhood has a discernible center. This is often a square or a green and sometimes a busy or memorable street corner. A transit stop would be located at this center, and most of the dwellings are within a 5-minute walk of the center, an average of roughly 0.25 miles or 0.4 kilometers or 400 meters. So question 27, the minimum width of sidewalks according to new urbanism principles. A. 1.5 meters. B. 2 meters. C. 2.5 meters. And D. 3 meters. And our correct answer is letter A, 1.5 meters. So while specific minimums can vary, a general guideline is 5 feet or 1.5 meters for a minimum width, with 6 feet or 1.8 meters being desired, and 8 feet or 2.4 meters being ideal for streets with higher traffic speeds. The 1.5 meters width allows two people to walk side by side comfortably, which supports the walkability and pedestrian-friendly design that new urbanism promotes. In more active or commercial areas, wider sidewalks like 2 to 3 meters or more are encouraged to accommodate higher foot traffic, street furniture, and landscaping. 28. Which of the following indicates good site planning? A. Maximize land use space. B. Controlled environmental hazards. C. Efficient maintenance. And D. All of the above. And our correct answer is letter D, all of the above. So good site planning involves multiple factors, including A. Maximize land use space, making the most efficient and functional use of the available land. B. The controlled environmental hazards means addressing flood zones, soil stability, pollution, etc. to ensure safety and sustainability. And letter C. Efficient maintenance is designing for long-term usability and ease of upkeep. Question 29. One of the key housing agencies of HUD-CC that concentrates on the production aspect of housing. A. HLURB. B. NHA. C. NHMFC. And letter D. HIGC. And our correct answer is letter B, NHA, or the National Housing Authority. So the National Housing Authority, or NHA, is one of the key housing agencies formerly under the HUD-CC, now under the DSUD, or the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, that concentrates on the production aspect of housing in the Philippines, meaning they directly develop and build homes for low-income families. So HLURB, or the Housing and Land Use Regulatory Board, regulates the development of housing projects and land use planning, yung mga subdivision license to sell, no? And NHMFC is the National Home Mortgage Finance Corporation, facilitates affordable housing loans by providing funding to lenders and not directly producing housing units. The HIGC, now known as the HGC, or Home Guarantee Corporation, provides guarantees to lenders, mitigating the risk in providing housing loans. And last question is one of the funding agencies of housing, locally known as the Pag-ibig Fund. A. GSIS. B. HDMF. C. SSS. And D. 143 Fund. And our correct answer is HDMF. So HDMF is the Home Development Mutual Fund and commonly known as the Pag-ibig Fund. It is a government-run savings program and housing finance institution in the Philippines. It provides affordable housing loans and encourages savings among members. And that's it for the end of our planning quiz. So check your answers now, count your correct answers. So if you got 27 to 30 correct answers, that's brain power unleashed, very commendable. 24 to 26 means seriously impressive. And 19 to 23, you definitely got this. And 16 to 18 score, you're close but needs a little more oomph. And 0 to 15 is time for a more strategic review. So that's it. So if you are interested to do a comprehensive review for the ALE, you can enroll at Atlas Career Development Center or Atlas CDC Review Center. So just scan the QR code here. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and watch out for my succeeding videos.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.